So we figured out who killed Sam, but Austin, still a mystery. Oh, and Sunny casually brings up Phyllis going back to Nixon Falls, which, by the way, we haven't heard from in about a year. Yet somehow, Kristen's still around to work for him like she wasn't already doing that. Seriously? And then Phyllis, of course, says she hasn't worked at Sunny's bar in ages. Yeah, sure, Phyllis, ages. Keep telling yourself that. Here's a fun observation. Has there ever been a time on GH where Thanksgiving wasn't mentioned? Not a single reference this year. No Quartermaine pizza parties, no first we sing, then we eat nonsense. Honestly, this is the first time I can remember that there's been no Thanksgiving cheer, and it's kind of sad. Nostalgia used to be a thing here. These writers lately, what a joke. Luke had that document of Helena's, the one he found and put in a safety deposit box, which conveniently revealed that Cyrus is actually Stavros's father. Naturally, Cyrus kills Luke to get it back, but oh wait, Luke had the foresight to leave instructions for it to be sent to Lulu's safety deposit box in Port Charles. Who knew Luke was such a planner, right? Now that it's confirmed it was Cyrus who did it, here's a thought. What if Sam isn't really dead? Yeah, we saw her die, and there were all the emotional moments and autopsies and whatnot. But what if Cyrus somehow revived her and took her somewhere? I mean, he's shady enough to pull something like that off, right? Just a thought. But really, we all knew Sam didn't die from natural causes. So where was Cyrus right before Alexis showed up? Wasn't Alexis in Sam's room just before she had that attack? Something doesn't quite add up there. Classic GH. On a brighter note, Michael Knight is still a joy to watch. He'll always be Tad to me, but honestly, the guy is magnetic in any scene. Always a pleasure. As for the rest, can we please find a way to bring Sam back and stop with these ridiculous storylines? Drew and Willow? Yawn. Drew's character? A complete mess. The writers have turned him into something unrecognizable, and that's just sad. And Cameron, poor Cameron. The kid deserves so much better than what they've done to him. GH used to be so fun, but now it's just a sad, whiny mess. Molly and Christina are endlessly complaining, dragging their storylines on forever. And don't even get me started on Cyrus, his plotline is going nowhere fast. They have these incredible actors, and yet we're stuck with these pathetic, meaningless stories. What a waste. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Wow, so let me get this straight. You're doing God's work, and in the middle of it, you suddenly have a flashback to killing someone. Really? This storyline is honestly worse than Drew and Willow's mess. Also, that drug must have been something special because she had a whole conversation with Dante and Alexis before she went into cardiac arrest. I mean, if I were asleep and someone touched my head like that, you better believe I'd be wide awake. These plots just keep getting more ridiculous. And now, because Laura put a restraining order in place, I'm just waiting for her to be next. Or maybe it'll be Dex. Either way, it's getting hard to care. Please don't tell me they're going to kill off Dex next. They already killed off Trina's first boyfriend around the holidays, so I wouldn't put it past them. Honestly, we don't need another grief storyline with Joss either. Also, Dex finally shares some major info with Cyrus, but didn't think to tell Laura or Anna. That's beyond frustrating. Oh, and of course it's Cyrus Renault who killed Sam McCall with Digitalis. Why? Because he wanted to get her out of the way so Lulu and Dante could get back together. Because Cyrus, the ever-resourceful villain, somehow got his hands on Digitalis, probably from the GH pharmacy or one of his lackeys. And of course, his supposed religious conversion? A load of crap. He's still the same evil man he always was. I seriously fear for Dex now, though. He saw Cyrus at GH the night Sam died, and we all know how Cyrus handles loose ends. Dex is either going to get hurt or killed. I can't wait to see how this all plays out. I love General Hospital, it's the best. I still don't get why Cyrus went after Sam. What did she ever do to him, other than being a PI? Or maybe it's because she gave part of her liver to Lulu, and Cyrus didn't want Lulu to wake up and remember he was behind the bombing at the floating rib. Now it's all making sense. Cyrus tampered with Lulu's ventilator, and he's the one who killed Sam. I've been saying it all along, Cyrus hasn't changed. And Dex? Big mistake. Now Cyrus is coming for him. Dex said too much. He saw Cyrus on the same floor as Sam. It's only a matter of time before something happens to him. Elizabeth and Lucky were absolutely killing it today, weren't they? Lucky serenading Elizabeth, followed by a nostalgic flashback, cue the collective sighs, making us fall in love with them all over again. Seriously, fingers crossed Lucky's sticking around for a while because, let's face it, he's the best wingman ever. If GH doesn't reunite these two, I'm going to need a tissue, or several. That flashback was everything. In the midst of all the doom and gloom on GH lately, it's honestly a breath of fresh air watching Elizabeth and Lucky, at least for as long as they don't rip them apart again. I'm just grateful they're not ignoring Christmas like they did Thanksgiving. Seriously, GH, epic fail there. Also, Sunny really needs to get a grip, and Christina, don't get me started. She's acting like a spoiled brat instead of taking responsibility for her actions. But back to the good stuff. The scenes with Elizabeth and Lucky were heartwarming, and I'm really hoping this isn't a one-off. Please, somebody, make them a couple again, for the love of everything holy. If Lucky's really staying for good, maybe, just maybe, that spark between them will reignite. The chemistry between them is undeniable. Honestly, after Elizabeth got involved with anyone else, it kind of ruined it for me. But 2 decades later, the chemistry is still there. And can we talk about Cyrus? Did he really kill Sam? Oh, and Christina, she's the worst. But Molly and Alexis, their scenes were gold. Those two are so alike. But seriously, Lucky and Elizabeth just fit. He just needs a solid purpose in town, and I think they've got this. Finally, the writers got something right. This was honestly the best thing I've seen in a long time. I've always loved Lucky and Liz together. I really hope he doesn't leave. They look way better as a couple now. Honestly, they don't even look that different in age, so it doesn't feel weird like it did with Silas, Dr. Finn, or Franco. Liz has always looked way younger than those guys anyway. But seriously, GH writers, don't mess this up. Just let them be friends and co-parents from a distance. Give Lucky a real heart-to-heart with Avon because Avon already knows who he is. Honestly, I'd rather see Jason and Elizabeth together at this point. I was totally here for Lucky and Elizabeth when they were younger, and it was great seeing those flashbacks today. But let's be real, Liz shouldn't be looking for a future with him. He's way too unstable. I just hope they don't get rid of Dex just so Lucky can return to being a cop again. Watching scenes with Lucky and Liz, I can't help but notice something hilariously obvious. They have the exact same haircut. Same cut, same style, even the same color. I mean, seriously, it's like they walked into the salon together and asked for the identical twin special. I usually love Liz's hair, but today it was just distracting me from the sweet moments on screen. Don't get me wrong, I was never a huge LNL fan, but I'll admit, those flashbacks with the song, they got me. And honestly, I don't cry over much in real life, but when it comes to my GH characters, they can always manage to break that emotional dam, no problem. It's the nostalgia. Maybe it's because I moved away at 20, and with my parents relocating as well, I lost all my foundations and friends, pre-cell phone era, of course. GH has been my constant, like that one friend who still calls, no matter where life takes you. And now that Jonathan Jackson is back and a musician in real life, I can't help but wonder, are they going to give him a musical storyline? Brooklyn's already managing musicians, and Curtis owns the Savoy where there's a stage for him to perform. Could Lucky be the next rock star on the show? I mean, I'd totally tune in to see that. How about a little steamy affair between TJ and Elizabeth? Nothing permanent, just enough to give her some fun and let him get over Molly. The whole sneaking around the hospital thing. Pure old-school drama. Sure, the age gap is a bit spicy, but not in a creepy way. They're both dealing with a lot and could definitely use a little distraction. Plus, imagine Lucky's head exploding. But honestly, I don't want them together long-term. TJ's basically a whiny man-child, and Elizabeth already has 3 boys to raise. She doesn't need another one. And with her history of disastrous relationships, my ultimate wish for her is to leave the show with someone truly wonderful and normal. Someone who'll give her the boring, stable, drama-free relationship she deserves, where she's treated like absolute gold. Dex next on the chopping block, huh? Well, he's definitely got reason to worry. Remember when Cyrus showed up at the hospital after Sam bit the dust? Yeah, that was no coincidence. Cyrus killed Sam, so what's stopping him from going after Dex next? The guy's got a killer track record, Bible in hand or not. But seriously, can the writers just lay off the death for a second? The body count on this show is getting ridiculous. So much heartbreak, so much anger, so much tears. Can we just have a little bit of happiness? Maybe a bit of comic relief? Dex deserves to stick around, or at least we could use a break from the constant doom and gloom. And then there's Lulu. She's still in the dark about Epiphany's death. Great timing, right? Oh, and don't forget the whole TJ, Molly, and Christina drama. Another tragic death in the mix, just to keep things really light. Lulu definitely needs the full scoop though, because surprise is the last thing she needs at this point. And let's not even get started on Britt and Victor. The less said about that, the better. Who's crying over Victor, really? Finally, Phyllis gets a mention. I've been wondering for ages, and posting about it, why she was being completely ignored. Well, it seems like today we finally got an answer, probably because other viewers were asking too. Sunny casually drops that Phyllis moved back to Nixon Falls, and now the bar is up for grabs. Christina's new opportunity: own and manage the bar. Sunny's offering her this amazing deal, and it's like, Christina, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. It's a bar. Take it and run. So apparently, Phyllis gave the bar back to Sunny after all this time. Sunny bought it from her and handed it back, and while Phyllis hesitated at first, she eventually accepted. Yeah, the storyline keeps changing. Surprise, surprise. Oh, and remember how not long ago Phyllis was seen around town and then just vanished off to Nixon Falls? So much for continuity. What really bugs me though is Christina. When did she ever build anything on her own? Daddy's always been there, buying everything for her and lining up the help she needs. The spark between Liz and Lucky? Definitely gone. It's not the same as it was when they were younger and everything seemed so full of promise. I will admit, I did find the montage of Lucky singing to Liz now, alongside the same scene from their younger days, kind of sweet. It was a nice touch to remind us of how much Liz leaned on Lucky emotionally back then. But wow, was there a noticeable shift in the tone between the two versions? Of course, it makes sense. Years of baggage have passed, and that's bound to change things. The youthful hopefulness of their past was a stark contrast to the present, where reality has chipped away at the love they once had. What really hit me, though, was how much their roles have reversed. Liz is now the strong, successful nurse with a career, while Lucky, well, he's still wandering around trying to find himself. Stability? Not in his vocabulary. As for a Lucky or Liz reunion, still not convinced. Lucky's got a long way to go before he's a viable option for anything more than a fleeting fling. Honestly, he couldn't even get a drive-by without a serious makeover. I'm guessing he smells like a combination of Annabelle and bad decisions. He needs a lot more than a change of clothes. I am so over Christina and her attitude right now. Honestly, I can't stand her. Yes, I get that she's grieving, but she's becoming insufferable. She still insists on calling the baby Adele when her actual name is Irene. Seriously? I get that she's hurting, but how is it that everyone else's way of grieving is wrong in her eyes? She acts like her anger is the only legitimate response, and if you're not as angry as she is, you're obviously doing it wrong. And don't even get me started on Sonny. He's totally enabling her. I didn't watch GH back in the day, but seriously, did Christina ever get diagnosed with bipolar, like her father? Because the signs are all there. She's got the mood swings, the irrational behavior. It's all a bit much. And yes, the accident was horrific, but let's be real. If she hadn't barged into Ava's room, none of this would have happened. She can't seem to accept that little fact, and it's driving me crazy. It's like the Christina show at this point, and Sonny is front and center, cheering her on. He's enabling her like it's his full-time job, and honestly, I'm starting to wonder if he's even taking his meds properly. He's calling the baby Adele too, like it's some kind of joke. This storyline has gone on long enough. Can we please just have it come to light that it was an accident and Ava didn't push Christina out the window? And can we finally be done with Sonny's endless hatred for Ava and his obsession with taking Avery away from her? Enough already. This has been dragged out far too long. They'll never be friends, so can we just move on? Honestly, I think Christina is the product of both Alexis and Sonny, but mostly Alexis. She's been taught to be manipulative, entitled, and completely self-centered. I mean, after 16 years of the same character, what else could they possibly do with her? Oh, wait, I know. Finally redeem her by slapping a bipolar diagnosis on her and calling it a day. Classic. And let's talk about Sonny. If he's still acting the way he is after coming back from NF, maybe someone should run some tests to see if he needs an adjustment on his meds. If Christina ends up being diagnosed with something, I just hope the meds they give her work better than the ones Sonny's been on. Honestly, I'm done with the Christina show. I guess they needed to give Sonny something to do since all his enemies are either gone or irrelevant now. So throw Christina in there, mix in some drama with Ava, and voila, another rinse and repeat cycle. Valentin's novel approach. Apparently, Laura and the others are shocked that Valentin took Charlotte with him when he left town. But really, why wouldn't he? He's her father, and at the time, there was no sign that her mother would suddenly wake up. Valentin would never harm Charlotte, and honestly, for all we know, she's probably enjoying the one-on-one time with him. At first, I was confused about why anyone would question his decision. Then I realized, it's because Valentin's actions don't fit the pattern we've seen from Laura, Anna, Robin, Felicia, or even Lulu. They've all, at one point or another, skipped town, leaving someone else to look after their kids. So, it turns out, good parents are a rare breed in Port Charles. In my opinion, only Elizabeth and Carly really stand out as mothers who consistently put their children's needs ahead of their own. As for fathers, Mac is clearly the best in town, with Spinelli coming in a close second. Dante? He's a semi-good father, but let's not forget, he's also bailed on his family to chase other interests. So given all of this, Valentin's approach to leaving town seems pretty solid compared to most of the parental choices around here. Even Laura admitted Valentin is devoted to Charlotte and that she's safe with him. Looks like he's doing better than most of the so-called good parents in PC. You can run a restaurant, Dad. Correct me if I'm wrong, but exactly which restaurant does Sonny think he's running? First, Phyllis, then Christina were in charge of Charlie's, so check, I guess? Volanino's gym seems to be a free-for-all with no management. Christina completely tanked Perks, and from what I can tell, Prosciutto's has about as much business as a ghost town. Oh, and Sonny's barely even around the coffee warehouse anymore. Pretty sure Jason's the one keeping that place afloat. So yeah, looks like both Christina and Sonny are living in a fantasy world. Christina, definitely lost it. And Sunny? Well, he's paranoid, clueless, and apparently just making things up as he goes. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.